In a secluded, luxury home in the Moroccan desert, they take a chartered helicopter. Jennifer is an American socialite who has a hidden relationship with Richard, a French millionaire. The two go to Richard's secluded property in the desert for a weekend together. Richard's helicopter pilot, Roberto, presents him with a sachet as a welcome gift. Afterwards, Richard follows Jennifer to her room, where her seductive approaches toward Richard are evident. She seduces him, and Richard can't resist. They have fun, entertaining each other. After their steamy encounter, he calls his wife to check on her and their children. While Jennifer listens to their conversation, Richard says that he would leave his wife if the kids weren't there. He also expresses his desire for Jennifer, which makes her happy, and they have a second round. Upon waking, she immediately goes to the kitchen to get something to drink. While eating, she is surprised to notice Richard's buddies, Stan and Dimitri, watching her. She quickly calls Richard. Stan and Dimitri had arrived a day early, frustrating Richard, who had hoped to keep Jennifer hidden from them as they were supposed to conduct their yearly hunting trip. He quickly introduces Jennifer as a friend to his buddies, who gaze at Jennifer as if undressing her with their eyes. Jennifer excuses herself to take a shower while they can't take their eyes off her beautiful body. Later, by the pool, Jennifer approaches Richard. It is obvious and undeniable that both Stan and Dimitri are in awe of Jennifer's beauty. That night, the four of them had a party. Stan seized the opportunity to chat with Jennifer and try to win her over. Their heated conversation was interrupted when Richard arrived. Meanwhile, Dimitri noticed the sachet. Richard explained that it was highly hallucinogenic. Since Stan and Dimitri were interested, Richard took it and explained that it was a numbing agent, which could prevent one from feeling pain even wound without bleeding. Due to his lack of trust in his friends, he instructed Jennifer to hide the sachet. She followed his instructions and concealed it in her necklace. Afterward, Jennifer performed a sexy routine, while the men delightedly watched her. She approached Richard to invite him to dance. When Richard declined, she turned to Stan instead and invited him to dance. She had fun doing a seductive dance with Stan. As things heated up between them, Richard interrupted the merriment and whisked Jennifer away to his room. The next morning, Jennifer woke up to find Richard missing. She left the room to look for him and saw Stan having breakfast, visibly excited when he saw her. Richard had gone to give their passports to the gamekeeper, a task that took him all morning. Dimitri was nursing a hangover. With only the two of them left, Jennifer noticed Stan's unusual behavior. Concerned, she decided to enter the room to pack for her trip to Los Angeles. While getting dressed, Stan suddenly entered. Inside the room, Stan tried to seduce Jennifer. Unfortunately, she wasn't interested, which disappointed Stan. He became more and more aggressive with his advances, claiming she had come on to him the night before. When she refused, he tried to take advantage of her. Suddenly, Dimitri entered. Stan invited Dimitri to join, but he refused and immediately left. Hearing the commotion from inside, Dimitri turned up the volume of the TV and went to the pool to swim instead. Richard returns home and notices his two friends acting strangely. Stan approaches him to discuss what happened with Jennifer, prompting Richard to go into the room, where he finds Jennifer crying and asking to call the helicopter because she wants to go home. Richard goes out and scolds Stan. He offers Jennifer a substantial sum of money to move to Canada and forget about the incident. Jennifer demands to go home, and when he hesitates, she threatens to reveal their relationship to Richard's wife unless he calls the helicopter immediately. Richard slaps Jennifer, and she runs off into the desert. Stan and Dimitri see them chasing each other and join in. The three men pursue Jennifer until they reach a dead-end cliff, where they corner her. Richard pretends to summon his pilot to take Jennifer home. After convincing her, Richard pushes her off, and she impaled onto a dead tree branch. Jennifer loses consciousness and is left for dead by the three men, who swear to continue their hunting trip as if nothing happened. They return to the house, planning to retrieve her body after preparing for their day of hunting. Jennifer awakens, feeling the pain from her wound. She struggles to retrieve her lighter and uses it to set fire to the tree where she is impaled. The fire causes the tree to break, enabling her to escape despite still having a branch lodged in her body. She hears noise coming from the vehicles of the three men hunting her. Struggling to stand, she hides under the cliff. When they couldn't find Jennifer, Stan pleads to help her get to the hospital because it isn't too late. But Richard disagrees, and they continue hunting her. They reach the dead tree where they discover Jennifer has escaped and follow her trail. Jennifer wanders into the desert, trying to evade the three men who have realized she has fled. Knowing she hasn't gone far, they decide to split up to search the area. While walking along the river, Jennifer notices a vehicle approaching. As soon as it passes, she quickly emerges from the water and heads to the riverbank. A while later, Jennifer discovers Dimitri urinating by a river. She grabs his shotgun and attempts to shoot him, but finds it unloaded. After confronting Jennifer, he called his colleagues to inform them that he had successfully apprehended the young woman. Dimitri tries to drown Jennifer, but she manages to grab his hunting knife and fatally stabs him in both eyes. As Dimitri breathes his last, Jennifer takes his knife, rifle, and supplies while he bleeds out in the river. She tries to flee from the remaining men, but her vehicle runs out of fuel, forcing her to abandon it. Jennifer hides in a cave and searches through Dimitri's supplies for something to ease the pain from her wound. Despite the intense pain, she fails to remove the branch herself. Recalling she is Richard's peyote, she consumes all of it and experiences its effects. Numbing her pain, she uses the knife to cut out the tree branch without feeling much discomfort. She then heats a beer can in the fire to cauterize the wound. After these procedures, she falls asleep. The next day, after a series of nightmares about being hunted, Jennifer awakens and notices that the heated beer can left a perfect scar resembling a phoenix tattoo on her belly. Embracing this mark, Jennifer prepares her equipment and weapons to seek revenge. While Stan is washing his face, he discovers Dimitri's body and reacts with shock, fleeing to his SUV. After disposing of Dimitri's body, Richard suddenly punches Stan, blaming him for the unfolding misfortune. Richard orders Stan to track down Jennifer in his SUV. Meanwhile, Jennifer emerges from her hiding place and, using Dimitri's binoculars, spots a glint in the distance marking Stan's location. Unaware that Jennifer is following him along a rough mountain road, Stan runs out of gas as Jennifer watches. As he attempts to refuel, Jennifer readies her rifle and shoots him in the shoulder. Jennifer chases wounded Stan. To stop the bleeding, he uses his sock to apply pressure to his wound. Stan retaliates by shooting Jennifer in the right earlobe with his rifle, forcing her to take cover. Engaging in a long-range battle, Jennifer breaks Dimitri's flashlight and baits him into stepping on a large chunk of broken glass. After removing the glass from his foot, Stan tries to run Jennifer over with his SUV. However, Jennifer uses Dimitri's rifle to eliminate Stan and steals his vehicle to continue her pursuit of Richard. After not being able to contact Stan on the radio, an angry, exhausted Richard rides his motorcycle back to the house. After dunking her head in the swimming pool, he summons the helicopter. He goes to his bathroom to take a shower, but then hears a disturbance and explores the grounds for Jennifer, but he didn't find anything in his search. She finds him after he's given up and shoots him in the stomach, and the two chase each other around the home while exchanging shotgun fire. Richard knocks Jennifer down with his shotgun and tries to strangle her, but she pushes her hand into his stomach wound, forcing him to drop her. Jennifer grabs her rifle and shoots Richard in the chest, eliminating him. Jennifer, bruised but triumphant, walks out of the home and turns around when she hears the helicopter approaching. For more videos similar to this, don't forget to subscribe and enable notifications. Thank you for watching.